All right. Good afternoon. I was about to say morning. Good afternoon, Vex. How you doing?
I'm doing good. I'm doing good. I just got home, had a plate of nachos. It's very good.
Nachos. That's I only had like I don't even remember what I had. Pop Tart. Had me. It was a Boston cream. Boston cream. Shit was
Ooh,
fire.
nice, nice.
Um. So I'm gonna go ahead and jump straight into it because I really I want to talk to you.
Yeah,
A lot to talk about. Really good time to talk about creative, especially. So with not even chapter 5, with like the end of season OG last season, there was a lot of UI changes, but most of which have been happening now in chapter 5. So with those UI changes, how are you feeling about the UI changes, especially with Discovery, and how you kind of just like scroll down and you got all the maps there?
I think it's definitely an interesting way to do it. I think it was kind of better beforehand where you didn't have to like select and then play. I kind of liked,
Really?
like way back in the day before Discovery even.
Yeah,
Um, just how, and I mean, Discover is essential, sure, but like even before that, just being able to select modes without going through a ton of stuff. I feel like they made it a little more complicated than it needs to be. But I mean,
yeah,
again, it's always the first step. So like,
yeah.
there'll
Of
be more
course.
in the future, and they'll perfect it for sure.
So on that topic, they added a search feature. I don't know if you're aware of it. I don't know if you've tried it yet. But I've heard mixed opinions on it only because like it's a little bit buggy. But the search feature was always there, but it was originally only for map codes, I believe. And I think as of last season, they changed it to support names, which is really cool because now you can just type in a map name and the map shows
Hmm.
up. So how you feeling about that?
I have not tried it out myself personally, but
Really?
I mean that's definitely a huge step in the right direction. Yeah, no,
Yeah.
when I get in Discover, I pretty much just go to creative, and then
Yeah, yeah,
occasionally I'll look through the maps and see. But yeah, no, that's a huge step in the right direction for sure
of
because it
course.
prevents, like just the front page of Discover's kind of infamous for not having the best stuff at the front page,
Yeah.
to say the
Um,
least. But, I mean, it kind of prevents that and lets people search for what they actually want to play, which I think is pretty cool.
yeah. I've had my fair share of using it. I mean, the first time I did use it, I immediately searched up the pit, and it was good because there was at least 200 different maps there, so that was
200. Oh,
fun.
man, they're lacking.
Oh yeah, it was two. I don't think it shows like every map that has that name.
Yeah.
I'm not completely sure.
Hmm.
Um, I mean, I wouldn't really expect them to, but it would be nice if it showed every single map. uh, because then I could search up the pit and see 10,000 different copies, which is
I
epic.
mean, I don't know if the servers could handle that, but yeah, there's
Maybe
quite a
not.
few pit maps, let's be honest.
Maybe not. Um, so, uh, off topic, right? For context, a while ago, you started, or I don't know if you're still doing it, but you started the creative cast, which was
Ooh,
what
yeah.
I think was possibly the first ever Fortnite Creative podcast. Um,
I think so, yeah. That sounds about
it
right.
it, it might have been. Um, and since then, it kind of stopped, I guess.
Mhm.
Conveniently right after my episode, uh, that never released. Um, and then we started the Vortex Lounge, which was obviously taking inspiration from the Creative Cast.
Oh,
Um,
yeah, you guys are giving me a 5% cut, though, so I'm not worried, right?
maybe I'll think about it.
Oh, oh, okay.
Um, but I was originally gonna ask you if I could take the name Creative Cast, but then I was like, no, that's not original. That'd suck.
I mean, honestly,
So
dude, if you just wanna do it, go ahead. Like, it's I
well,
think
too
so
far.
the thing
I
that
think we're a little too far into it.
mhm. Yeah, no, for sure, I get that. Uh, about your episode, I did have that. I had it already, had, like, 3 hours of footage, and then I switched over to a different computer. In the process of doing that,
Mhm.
instead of just taking my hard drive out and putting it back in, I like used the convert system to back it up, but it backed it up to like a bunch of weird hieroglyphic DLL files. So eventually it got that back, but it's somewhere in like a thumb drive in one of my junk drawers now.
Damn.
I
Wow.
intend
I'm junk
to
to you.
release it though. Well, I mean,
I didn't know it was like that.
yeah,
Um, but yeah, I was originally thinking about taking the name, but I think it was I'm not gonna say his name, but because we're not good anymore. But it was some guy. He was like, "What about the Vortex Lounge?" And I was like, that's not a bad name. And I went with it,
yeah,
and it
yeah,
kind of stuck, and it's been working. 4 episodes and done one with Enderbite, done one with Canduk, done one with Chowda, and last one was with Syntax, and all very proud episodes. I'm proud of all of them.
yeah. Very good
Um,
discussions. I feel like I don't even compare to them in the slightest, but I mean, I'm happy to be here for sure.
I mean, Syntax was personally my favorite,
Yeah,
um,
no,
for
I
obvious
like your guys'
reasons.
conversation. Hmm.
But on that note of podcasts, um, Epic, like themselves, started. I don't know if you're aware of it, but I'm sure you are. Epic themselves started their own creative podcast, which I thought was
Hmm.
really interesting because
Yeah,
I remember I was talking about it earlier. The fact that I like our podcast better because something that Epic hasn't done and probably won't do is talking to like very small creators like
yeah,
yourself,
uh-huh.
people who haven't really been exposed as much as like fucking Mustard Plays, for example.
Mhm.
You know, and, and we have that benefit of exposing these smaller creators, but the benefit that they have is that they can get in contact with bigger creators and they can actually get their attention and talk to them.
Right, for
Wow.
sure.
If you got a DM from Epic Games saying, "Yo, you want to be on a podcast?" Of course, you're like jumping yippee yay
Yeah,
yay.
right, like,
I'm in.
of course.
But if you get a message from Vortex Creative and you never heard of them, you're like, "What the fuck is this?" Um,
I
so,
thought I unsubscribed from this, what the hell?
but that yeah, no, I that's the only benefit I think they really have. But
Mhm.
I think Me personally, I think it's a really good step forward because that is exposing creators to people who don't
Yeah,
know them
absolutely.
and
No, yeah,
could
it's a
possibly
great
in the
platform
future
to
be
get them out
smaller
there.
ones.
Mhm.
Um, but one of the main things I like about it is that it's actually like face to face talking. Like it's two people with their cameras and actually
Mm.
talking while I'm here. It's more of just like us talking, which I think could change in the future. But um,
Yeah.
that's what I like about it.
Mhm.
Um, and of course, the podcast has been cool. Oh, what were you saying?
I was just gonna say, the thing about the Creative Cast is, like, we were all, I think, especially you and me, like, really passionate about that.
Yeah,
Um, and, we record a lot. The problem is just, like, with life, and I mean, you have you who, like, started a freaking business, which is insane, but I mean, you
absolutely.
can kind of reach out for help to make this kind of stuff, which is huge in respect. I feel like for me, I was kind of just trying to edit it on myself and like trying to do all this stuff. I just
Yeah,
ran out of steam, and just it's like it's not um
yeah, of course.
forget the word, but
And I still have the map that we made in that video, so
oh,
uh,
perfect, perfect,
you
yeah.
know, just
Still got
for
the tanks
notice,
still.
we still have the tanks that were flying around. That's the only reason I want that recording out, just for that clip of
Oh no,
the
yeah,
tanks.
you know what? After this, I have time. I'm gonna grab that thumb drive and just get that video.
Shit was hilarious.
It was so funny,
But
dude.
what was I on about? So yeah, no, I of course I started Vortex after the creative cast, and it's been very successful for me. Uh, and the creative cast, if I remember how it started, it was like a group chat with like a few people who had commented that they were in on it,
Yeah,
on a
yeah. I
post.
think we like Dale. I haven't talked to Dal in a long time, but Dal, you and I made like a Twitter post or something, and people were like, "Hey, yeah, this sounds great."
Well, fortunately, Dow's not around anymore, so
Oh man,
sucks.
Yeah.
I don't know if you knew. I'm not gonna say too much, but he's off of social media, like, for good.
Oh, dang.
So, yeah. Um, but, I've been proud of the podcast. We have, if you haven't checked it out, we have quick plug, on the website, we have a little podcast page showing all of our previous viewers, which you'll now be on. Good for you.
Be sure to check out
Um,
the merch.
if we had some, absolutely. Um, I don't see the point in merch if you're not big enough to sell merch. We had merch at some point though. It's like
Really? Huh.
deep in the basement. Um,
Oh,
but of course you got yourself a bit of a story. You had your code unfortunately removed without
yeah,
notice,
I did, yes.
which happened to a few people apparently, and not just you, which
Mhm.
is interesting. Um, and since then, what have you been doing besides being on Twitter?
Well, pretty much only being on Twitter, that's really all I do with my life, just nothing else.
Yeah, any builds? I mean, I know you've been like over the past what 2 years been working on.
No, yeah,
Hey,
I was joking,
uh, sorry. Over the past like 2 years, you've been working on the Arizona too.
mhm, mhm.
Maybe 3 years now. I don't know how long
Bingo.
it's been.
Yep.
3 years, yes. Okay. Are you still working on that? Is that like a dead project now, or is
It is to be determined, but I
to
have,
be
started
determined?
making yeah, I've started making some models in, Blender, though, and playing around with Unreal Engine 5.
Yeah, I've seen
As
some of
far
those.
as just kinda creating stuff, I realized after all that happened, I was more just like, "Yeah, I just wanna make stuff, really." It's like
Yeah.
and I realized I really enjoyed writing the scripts for, the Arizona 2, so I have been writing a book, as a matter of fact.
Yes, I'm aware of that too. Um,
Mhm.
and I think if I'm getting it right, it's like supposed to be a psychological project that you're working on here with the book.
A little
If
bit,
I'm
yeah.
correct.
It's a, like, fictional sci-fi horror kinda thing, but yeah, definitely.
Um, yeah, no. So I'm kind of excited to read up on that because it looks kind of cool. The way you've been describing it and how you cry at your own book. That's a first.
Oh, thank you.
Um,
I appreciate it.
um, but the way I see it, no creative person can leave the place where they express their creativity for too long without getting bored
Yeah.
of it.
Mhm.
Um, and for me and the majority of people on this team, that place of creativity is here on Fortnite Creative, and I can't imagine like to explain to you how many times I've actually like thought about quitting and just like dipping. It'd be a very long list,
Mhm.
but I'm still here just because like I know if I leave, I'm gonna regret it.
Been
So
I've been in and out lately, actually, just,
yeah,
checking out the new stuff, so
yeah. I mean, yeah, your blender shit has been kind of cool. I mean, some of it's
thanks.
a little off, but you know that.
Yeah, some of it's a little,
Um,
interesting.
but that comes with the process. I'm sure you'll get better, like way better. Um, but it's a good thing that you're doing it. It's a good skill to have. Learning how to model and learning how to do shit like that. You can do that in Unreal Editor too, if you haven't tried it out.
I have a
Um,
little bit, yeah.
yeah, I think the Unreal Editor tools are actually really cool. I played it because I'm on a PC right now, right? I got my PC like 2 months ago, I think.
Mhm.
It's my second PC out of the two that I've had.
Nice,
Um,
nice.
but the first one just wasn't good enough to run Fortnite or UEFN for that matter.
Mhm.
So that's why I needed this new one, and this new one has been doing me amazing things. Um, and I was able to try out both Unreal Engine and UEFN for the first time. Both amazing. Um, Obviously UEFN on the buggier side,
Yeah.
with to be expected with anything. Uh,
Mhm.
but the modeling tools are really cool. I think the Niagara system is also insane.
I did, yeah.
Um,
I looked into the VFX system. It's
yep.
pretty awesome.
And then being able to have cinematic sequences too has been amazing. If you saw Syntax's post with the Lego Syntax skin,
I did
you know,
not.
he's been, you didn't? What?
No, I did
Oh my
not. As a
god.
matter of fact, I'll
You
check
gotta
it
go
out.
look at his Twitter page at some point. It is
Yeah.
amazing. Like he frame by frame he put like together maybe 1,000 different Lego pieces to make
Wow.
his skin.
Of,
It's insane
of
the amount of
course,
effort
Syntax did
he put
that.
into it.
Of course, he did.
Yeah, I asked him I asked him like how long it took, and he said like 20, 40 hours if I'm remembering right.
Yeah.
So you know that's insane. The fact that he 40 hours for a little cinematic of Legos being put together and then an explosion at the end. Fucking insane. Um,
Yeah.
but so really no new projects in the works for now.
Are you asking me?
Yeah.
Sorry, I'm brain.
Yeah.
I released a trailer for a little teaser that I'm working on in Creative. Actually, it's called Midnight Walk. I'll give
Midnight
you a
Walk.
little more
All right.
insight into that. It's kind of obviously a horror game if you can't tell, but
Yeah.
it's more of a story of like family and kind of a mystery as well. It like has
Mm.
vibes of a mystery novel. Um,
Yeah.
and I just really thought I was walking my dog one day and I was just looking around and there's a delivery guy like at my house, but I like waited for him to leave my house before I went back to my house.
Yeah.
Um, so an idea just spawned in my mind and I just like wrote I don't know like 20 pages for just like an hour there.
I mean, well, yeah, shit. It that
Yeah,
sounds like a cool. It seems to be like your specialty. I mean, I don't know if I just haven't caught on to it yet, but you seem to just love horror shit. Um,
pretty much. Yeah, I mean like anything
anything
that's
horror
out of the
related.
blue.
Yeah. And of course, which I'm aware of already, you write down like all of your ideas. So I'm sure you just have like pages and pages worth of ideas that you can build off
Yeah,
of.
my phone runs at about 10 times worse than a normal one would, 'cause, all that
I
stuff is bogging it down.
I would write my stuff down on a paper. Get in
Yeah, I
invest in
would
a
do.
notebook.
Hmm,
Invest in
hmm.
a notebook. Just, I have a
This
notebook,
is a
dude.
foreign
I have one
concept to me.
really. Um, so I have a notebook that I keep next to me on my desk. It's on my desk right now. It's a little black notebook, and in it, I just keep ideas for trailers. So like if I'm making a trailer, I'll actually like sketch out each frame, making sure that I know what I'm gonna make.
Yeah,
Um, so I'll sketch out each frame. I'll have pages where I just like write down ideas for maps. Um, and that's only like if I don't have room on my computer or on my phone. And I also write song lyrics, so that's kind of where all my shit goes on my phone. So I do need space like
nice.
on paper.
That's nice. Yeah.
Um, but yeah, no, invest in a notebook so you can have a little bit less cluttered of a phone.
Mhm.
Because I would probably like die if I couldn't use my phone properly. Um,
I'm getting there for sure. It's almost there.
yeah, so no, I'm really hyped to see that whatever project you're working on, any other projects that you might be working on after that. Um, so I want to get into some juicy stuff, right? Of course,
Yeah.
you've been around for a while, you know. Um, and with that, there have been some huge changes to like the way that Fortnite's running and the movement
Mhm.
and everything. Do you
Yeah.
think Fortnite in recent weeks, in recent months, has done a good job at working closer to being more like a Roblox platform type thing?
I think it kinda for this, you kinda have to go back to what it was originally, and
Yeah.
that was just save the world. I even asked, Tim Sweeney on Twitter how he made it, and he did respond with, they're kinda at a convention, and a bunch of people just kinda got together at Epic, and, obviously they built Save the World, and then within, like, I think, like, 2 weeks, they made the first battle royale.
Yeah, it was very quick.
And then,
Um,
like, I'm not 100% sure how Creative spawned, but, all these amazing things started coming out that people are creating with, like, using stuff, like Syntax said, like, using stuff the way it's not meant to be used.
yeah,
Um, and that kinda, just transformed into a platform. So I think when people kinda think of a battle royale when they think of Fortnite, I think if they really want, like, the perfect ideal metaverse, they need to replace that believement with, a platform is Fortnite. It's not
yeah,
just, this one game. It's not games within games anymore. It is a web of separate games. But I think
yeah,
I think they have been doing a good job of that, first. I think there is maybe a little bit of financial struggle there, and, I'm not gonna comment too much on that, but it's interesting the tactics they're taking, like, the live event, creating that,
hmm
kinda I think they kinda use, like, OG to gather back the crowd so that they could have this.
yeah,
And, I mean, really smart marketing on their part, but I
super.
think they are doing a great job with the I haven't done either Lego or, Rocket thing yet, but
Hmm.
I do intend to. I've been super busy though, so
Lego pretty much has its own creative mode, which in itself
really,
is
huh.
insane.
So it's the
You
true
got you got to
creative.
check it out. There's basically three different creative modes in Fortnite. You got UEFN, you got creative mode, and then you got Lego,
I believe Epic said that they
which is
were going to make it so you can actually, like, publish stuff in creative, like, and for all the new.
yeah. They mentioned that that they're gonna add UEFN support for Lego and I think Rocket Racing.
Hmm,
So
cool.
I believe there's also
um,
something about
li-
the UEFN support for Fortnite Festival as well.
really, that's
Yeah.
I don't know
So,
how that
like,
would work.
you'd, like, create your own stage, I guess.
I'm interested to see that, but I Lego has been really cool. It's that's never like a sentence that I thought I would say that like Lego is its own thing in Fortnite. Never did I think I was gonna be able to say that.
I
But
mean, I definitely said that in my childhood, maybe not in Fortnite, but
yeah. But damn, this last event was the first time I think that Epic has actually woven creative mode and the Fortnite as a platform into the storyline, which I think is fucking amazing that
I
they
think
manage that.
it is genius for people who wanna follow that. I think I stopped following the story a long time ago. They
Yeah.
do have an awesome story. Like, I love the story of, the loop with, like, I think Fortnite's, like, the center of all realities or something. Um,
Yeah.
but I think, yeah, doing that is not only smart marketing, but, like, for people who wanna follow that, that's really cool to do that.
Yeah. But I think one of the coolest things about Fortnite that no other game or platform has managed to do this ever is the fact that when you watch a Marvel movie, it's not a thought that you have, but it is the reality of it. F- That Marvel movie that you're watching is not the center of the universe.
Mhm.
Fortnite is the center of the universe in the Marvel universe,
That's true, that is
but
true. It
you don't
is
see
it
that.
is very interesting.
Every company, every game that they work with, they are slowly just creating a wider and wider metaverse,
Yeah,
right?
yeah, for sure.
And the what makes it so weird is, people hate on Fortnite for whatever reason that might be, but at the end of the day, your favorite TV show, your favorite movie, your favorite game, Fortnite is the center of it, probably, which is
Yeah,
insane
I
to
mean,
think about.
really with the other
That
companies that don't
while
work
I'm
on Fortnite.
playing Marvel's Spider-Man swinging with Miles behind me,
Mhm.
uh, there are a bunch of mini people fighting on a battle royale island um, made of multiple different universes, which is fucking insanity in itself. But you know, I think it's amazing. And
It's
it's
genius
not
for
even just
sure.
that, it is. It's also the first game to ever, like, truly accomplish a metaverse, you know? I mean, like, of course, we have Roblox, right? But the thing about Roblox is that Roblox, unlike Fortnite, is entirely and almost only based off of the users and their
Mhm.
creations. While
Yeah.
Fortnite, on the other hand, actually, like, themselves, they expand the metaverse by including different companies, including different brands, including different games, including different
Yeah, I
people.
think what's so fascinating is Roblox, I feel like, was a great, not necessarily start, but like Roblox was kind of, user build this. And, with like Epic Mega Grants, which I don't really know if that's a thing anymore. I think Word Andrew got one, which is
It still
awesome,
is.
but they're like turning small creators like that into massive developers, which is just so fascinating as a
Yes.
concept.
Absolutely, and, I think that's really fucking cool that they've been able to manage something this big so
Yeah.
quickly too, like, in it's when did it I think it's been 8 months? Yeah, I think it's been 8 months since UEFN release, and in a matter of 8 months, they've been able to accomplish more than any company has ever done.
Yeah,
Like,
and
literally, any
that's the
company has ever
fascinating
done.
thing is if it's evolving that fast in 1 year, like think about how far it's gonna be like 10 years down the line.
And, they released their roadmap for UEFN,
Mhm.
um, which I think is, like, imagine, because Lego is a part of UEFN's journey because of the UEFN support, right? But that wasn't in the roadmap. So what I'm thinking is, like, imagine all of the small little things that are hidden in the roadmap that we can't see, right? In
Mhm.
those 5 years that are on the roadmap, there could be, like, Oreo collaborations down the line. We could be seeing, like, a Roblox collaboration down the line where we have, like, Roblox games in Fortnite. You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
No,
Like,
I think I that's such a thing though, is like everyone sees this platform as like, how is this competing with other platforms? The question is, if they're doing better, why would they compete? It makes way more sense to join them together so they have one place that they're both profiting off. That makes so much more sense than
yep,
to compete if they want to build a metaverse.
yeah. But I think the biggest thing that they have to accomplish if they really want to expand their metaverse is getting through Nintendo's thick ass head. Because, as we know, Nintendo's very, very protective of their IPs and how they're
Yeah.
used. So
I
it'll take
think
a,
it's very
a lot
possible for
for Epic
Nintendo to
to,
come. I think it's very possible for Nintendo
of course,
over, especially since it looks like more recently they have been more open to collaboration, especially with Ubisoft.
yeah.
Mhm.
I
I
don't,
mean,
I don't
Ubisoft gave
think
Mario guns, so they're not guns
really.
plus Mario.
What the
Yeah,
hell?
Mario plus
What
Rabbids.
game did they do that in?
Mario plus Rabbids. Both of them, Mario has guns.
Yeah.
They're
I
cartoony, but
I
still
didn't
they're
know that.
guns.
Here's what I think, right? I don't think if they worked with Epic, I don't think they would allow them to release Nintendo skins as, like, actual battle royale skins,
Mhm.
unless it's like like Samus would definitely be a battle royale skin, 100%, right? But
Yeah,
if we're
for
talking
sure.
like Mario and IPs like that, I think what they would have to do is something more like Lego, where it's like its own game mode, which I
Mhm.
think would be fucking amazing.
Yeah, no,
But the question is just
absolutely.
how that would work. But, the Lego collaboration has opened up so many opportunities for so many other companies who don't want their characters being seen with guns and weapons and shit, you know?
Mhm.
Like,
For sure.
knowing that if with enough money and with enough effort and a big enough team, they can actually have their own full game created in Fortnite, like, that's insanity.
Yeah.
And, with UEFN, like, companies can work with small teams or big teams, to create branded experiences now that are, like, literally full games off of their brand, which is also amazing. But
I think the having the island in the Game Awards is a huge step for that.
oh yeah, I completely forgot to I forgot to mention that. How insane it is that the Game Awards recognizes Fortnite as a platform now, and now, like, rather than Fortnite having its own category, having its own game as on the categories, which it still does, but now also having a separate category for experiences inside of Fortnite, which is something that even Roblox hasn't been able to achieve, which is
Yeah.
insane, like, actually insane. Um, and I tried getting Spanky Sully on the on the cast. Unfortunately,
Oh
he
man, that would
wasn't
have been
able to.
awesome. Yeah.
I know, that's what I was thinking, like, it would've been awesome to see, like, the winner of of, the category to be on here, but,
It would have been awesome to
I
see
f
the winner of the Game Awards, not this weird Vex
absolutely.
guy. Like,
W but, I regardless, right, he made history when he won
oh
because
no,
that, like
absolutely, yeah. And it's so
and
fascinating that like anyone can
yep,
just do that now. It's like you don't have to
and
be some
it
sort of
was so well
celebrity.
dedeserved. It was really well
Oh,
deserved,
dude,
like,
yeah,
Spanky's a
Spanky's
great
absolutely,
mechanic,
without a
great
doubt.
developer. And it's really awesome that him of all people, like, there were so many different people that could have won, right, but him of all these different people, he was able to take it all, which is
Yeah,
awesome. I think that is absolutely insane. um
such a great
and
representative to have as like the winner of that section.
yep. And what I think is most important about it is the fact that now he himself and his accomplishment is going to pave the way for possibly thousands of other creators to also win awards and also
Yeah.
make money, which
Mhm.
is awesome. And I'm really excited to see who wins next year. If they end up doing it again next year, which I'm sure they will. Um, but we are coming to the end of the talk, which is really disappointing. Uh, I wanted it to be longer, but
Mhm.
um, so we're just gonna wrap it up with like final thoughts and everything. So overall, um, overall, from what I gathered here is that both of us agree that Epic is doing a great job at moving towards a platform.
Absolutely, yeah.
They've been putting it like I'm really proud of it. They've been putting a lot of effort into actually like creating something and putting effort into it. Um, and I'm really happy about it because I was one of the first people to actually be a part of it. As someone who
Mhm.
started 5 years ago now. I don't know if it's been 6 years or 5 years since Creative came out,
5,
but
yeah, 5. It
out
was just the
5.
5-year anniversary. It's
So
insane, man, I know.
shit. I've been here since day one, since it
Yep.
was a fucking early access in battle pass
Insane.
type thing.
Mhm.
um, so I get to proudly tell my children that I was part of the biggest metaverse of all time.
Yeah,
Um,
right.
and that's an accomplishment that I'll never forget, and you get to say it too. Um, so yeah, I'm excited to see what projects you have coming up.
Thank you, thank
Um,
you.
I'm also excited to read that book if it ever releases.
Oh, it will,
Um,
believe me.
and I'm excited to see the possibility of the Aerozone 2 actually releasing after 3 years.
Yeah, I'll contact you when we're both in retirement and just be like, "Hey, look, I got the first chapter done."
Nice.
To
Be
start.
like
My
50 years
kids
from
will have
now.
to do the next part, yeah.
Yeah, it's understandable. Tell
It's
your
a family
grandkids to
pass
get
down
to finish
thing,
the game for you,
yeah.
like an heirloom, but the game just never finishes.
Mhm. Yeah. It's some, like, passed down tradition. I just we educate our kids each time, just like, "You must be the next ones to make the next chapter of the Arizona 2."
All right. Well, um, let's see. We're coming to the end here. Unfortunately, I wanted to make it longer. I wanted to talk to you a little bit longer. Uh, of course, you can come on again at any time. I'm completely open to people, former guests, and you coming back.
Cool, cool.
Um, but this was the Vortex Lounge. This was VEXFC, and that's it.